I can shoot.
Can you drive?
Reasonably well, yeah.
All right. What's your name?
Alan Key.
All right, Alan, right over here. You're a PPO, right?
Yeah, I'm a PPO.
You know the last guy that didn't know what reasonable suspicion was, wasn't able to find it out. You know what happened to him? He ended up cuffing someone and beating the fuck out of him in front of the chief of police.
I know, and then now he's going to revive from the ICU on May 14th, 1 hour after the tsunami.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's important to know the full definition of reasonable suspicion and probable cause, because it is a cheat sheet for success. You know what our win rate in court is? Damn near close to 0.
Really?
Oh no, it's ass. Absolute ass.
Okay.
And primarily because we go into court and we cannot articulate how we obtained reasonable suspicion, then got to probable cause, and how we were able to branch out the charges from there. So, reasonable suspicion is good faith belief that a crime will, or is taking place based on facts, circumstances, and officer training and experience. What are facts?
I heard a gun being shot. There are bullet casings on the floor. There is an individual downed.
Yeah. What are circumstances?
We had a shootout call earlier at that exact same location, though I didn't hear or see or hear any of those things.
And what's officer training?
Officer training is if I see two opposing gangs who I know are currently having a conflict, though I don't have a report or any of the other information, like the facts
now,
of the circumstance.
That officer training and experience, does it apply if someone tells you this information, right? That, I don't know, the besties and Hydra are at war, right? They're like, hey, I think they're at war. Does that count?
No.
Why is that?
Because that officer training, though I can take it and note it down, I can't then go and see Hydra and the besties standing beside each other shit talking and then treat them as if, you know what I mean, it's his. That would not have held up in court. I can note it down and tell officers and mention it, but if I use that as, me
that's good.
being
You're not
emboldened for the day.
Because that's kind of the problem, is that sometimes people just hear some shit and they think they can use it. It's your personal training and experience, which is why you'll probably see sometimes someone will be like, hey, what's your name again?
Alan Key.
Billy? If they're like, listen, Billy, I need you to take this 95 and press these charges on it. Why is it that doesn't make any sense?
Ready to check?
I do.
Are there any available buffaloes
someone
come
gives me a
channel 3?
95 and says press these
Yeah, I
charges.
say, hey, hey, take that 95 and hit him with gang-related shooting and all his possessions.
7-6.
Based off hearsay.
Yeah, you weren't there, right? How the fuck are you going to articulate it? I'm like, oh, yeah, he was in a shootout.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Mr. Knight, we like that example has happened on a scene.
Oh, I know it
when
happens
you were the
because we
lead,
have a bunch.
And I asked you multiple times just to double check because I was not there. I was just processing.
Yep.
Like I've had that happen.
Oh, yeah. That's why people that come to the scene and know how it began, because they have the established RS and PC, are required and should be processing. Right? So, all right, this is good. All right, and then what's probable cause?
Okay. It's the person. Oh, okay, I'm gonna be honest. The definition I don't know, but probable cause is that same situation. If I see them with a gun in their hand, now I have the ability to stop them and search them.
The reason why I grill people on RS and PC is, once again, it's like a cheat sheet. RS is I actually fucked up when I said RS. I'm gonna be honest. It's RS is the suspicion of, right? And that suspicion is it's the reasonable belief. That's the key word. Reasonable belief is RS. Good faith belief is PC. Now, reasonable belief is if those same facts, circumstances, etc. were given to a group of your peers, like in other words, other San Andreanians, and you gave it to them, would they also likely arrive at the same conclusion? Right? Good faith belief is that when you personally, as a law enforcement officer, based on those things, will say, yeah, that probably did happen.
Understood.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, ignore the language, but...
No, it does. It does.
All right.
It should be a situation where 100 times out of 100, if I give them the same puzzle pieces, they're going to come to the same conclusion.
Yes. A good officer, and trust me, there's not a lot of examples around here. When they go to a scene, they're cranking through their mind, thinking, you should be stamping in your mind, what was my RS? And keep that, like, in the back of your mind. What was my first bit of PC that let me actually arrest them and do the other things? So that everything that branches out of it turns into a chase, a shootout. I don't know, you're kicking someone's doors in, and you get pulled into a bench trial, you can build that up, right? And that's why we lose those cases a lot of times. We go in there and we're like, well, I know how it ended, but how it ended is irrelevant. Because if our cause for detainment, our cause for the original arrest was wrong, it all goes to shit.
Do you think, Mr. Knight, that me having like some notes to just refer back to on the exact definition? Because
Yes. Should put it on sticky notes and put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff, but the reasonable suspicion in the PS, I didn't have the exact definition. I just had like, it's almost like a dot point reminder of like what it is and isn't for me.
We don't train RS and PC well. I think sometimes I go and literally grill everyone on this and I expect them to know the definition. And it seems like foolish, but genuinely a lot of people, I'm not, Peters, I'm by right before Legion Square on San Andreas or Vespucci.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm gonna give you one little quiz thing. I don't want to hold you up. All right. You get a suspicious activity call at Mirror Park.
Oh, well.
Give me just 1 second, Peters. Suspicious activity call over at Mirror Park gas station.
Yeah, we're good.
You arrive on the scene. You're not going to get backup in this example, so don't worry about backup or anything like that. And you see an individual standing there, masked up, in a hoodie, and that's the only individual there. What can you do?
I think all I could do is frisk them. That'd be the only thing. If I have a reasonable suspicion to believe that they've done something.
Okay. Okay, and you frisk them, you feel a bulge.
At that point, unless I believe a crime's being committed at that point, I can ask to search them, which they can deny.
You feel a bulge. Okay. And they're like, yo, why are you touching my dick? But now it actually, you know what? It feels like a gun. Now what?
Okay, if it feels like a gun, I can detain and search them.
All right. You detain, you search them, you find a gun on them. Scratch pistol. Now what?
Well, at that point, baseline, regardless of what I was there for, they're under arrest for possession of a tampered firearm.
Now they're in the cells. Now what?
Well, I'm charging them with the tampered, and if they have nothing else on them, and there was no other evidence on scene, there was no other things hidden in a trash can, of course I'm going to run it. I'm going to take it upstairs, 311 in to
comes back to 10 murders.
10 murders. Jesus Christ.
And that individual is going to run away scot-free.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Which portion of it? I felt like I was getting.
What was your RS?
Well, nothing. There was no
So why'd you
arrest.
detain him? Why'd you frisk him?
I mean, I had no reason to.
So
Right.
why'd you touch him then?
Well, in reality, I just failed the test from the start. Yeah, like I
Yep.
don't think I would do anything from meeting a random person all black. If they had done nothing else,
You
I
had a
wouldn't do anything.
suspicious activity call. That's just a
ping.
That's a ping. It's a random grandma saying, yo, that person's got a hoodie on, right? I'm scared, right? And even if they were like, yo, that person's got a hoodie on, and like, yo, he's doing some crazy shit, if you cannot articulate your reason, your RS has to be tied to a charge. A lot of people don't recognize that. I'm not saying you do or don't, but your RS actually has to be tied to a specific penal code charge, right? Like
Yeah,
you can't be like, if for example, you know, if you just pulled your dick out right here, and just start jumping up and down, you can't even detain someone for that, right? You could be like, man, and let's say prostitution was legal. I mean, the thing is, you need RS for, okay, maybe that's a crazy example, but you have to be like, okay, it's reasonable suspicion for drug sales, but you need to be able to, what the fuck? Whatever. All right, so let's run back one more scenario, and then I'll let you cut you loose here. All right, you detain him, or sorry, you get the suspicious activity call. Same individual, right? Looks sus as fuck, and there's graffiti on the wall behind him. What can you do?
Well, first I have to ask anybody that I can is like.
And is the only one there?
Is defamation? Is there a charge for that on public property? Like, do we have a charge for like?
I'll help you here. It's vandalism.
Vandalism.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, we do have a charge for vandalism.
Yeah.
So at that point, I would step up my vehicle and try and establish some PC for him having a spray can, something of the like. You know, linking into that.
There's a step before that. See if the paint is dry. How do you know it's brand new or not?
That is very valid.
Yeah.
100%.
So, and this kind of seems like a weird one because we don't really see it. But the point I'm trying to make there is like, even your RS has to be solid, right? It's a guy behind graffiti. You have a call that just says something suspicious has happened. You don't even know if it's a graffiti, right? And so the best approach for that is, that's why a lot of people, and this is actually kind of dumb, but you know how you hear like there's a drug sale and we go sit up somewhere on a rooftop making photos? Yeah, do you know about this?
Yeah, of course. I helped you respond to one yesterday.
Okay, between us, it's the most dog shit way to do drug. It is so bad. It is the like fucking lost all my court case Andy way of doing drug calls. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I pulled off more drugs off the street than anyone in the last 15 years. I had a fucking meth lab pulled. You know how I did that? I didn't sit on a fucking roof or sit in a bush taking photographs. What I did is, if I know, because I'm patrolling an area for weeks on end, that motherfucking El Saab is selling some fucking dope, I'm gonna wait till I know where his dope is. Which car is it? How does he move? When does he do it? Who is he with? And then I wait for the dumb fuck to get in the car, let him run a traffic light, and then I build up to search his fucking vehicle, and then I got all his shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, catching them with their 10 grams of weed is a slap on the wrist, and they're just going to come back and do it again.
Yeah. Well, that and like, there's like a belief that, hey, we need a photo of the handoff. No, the reason people keep going to, you need a photo with a handoff is because they're not finding any other creative ways to figure it out, right? Because they're sitting there hoping there's a handoff because simply getting a ping isn't enough. But there's other things you can do, right? Fucking call them on an anonymous number, right? Identify, like one day go up, be like, hey, what's your name? Right? Get their name or some shit, you know, just make contact with them, right? And be like, okay, when we went up there, right? That guy that I spoke to on the bike, I forgot what the fuck his name is. It's like Rains man. I'm pretty sure that motherfucker's selling dope. Do I have enough? No. But now next time that shit starts popping off and I see him again, I'm like, all right, this is the guy that's mostly selling the dope at this time. So maybe next time I might call him up and try to buy some stuff off of him. You get what I'm saying? Less, more, and more interest in, and I'm like, yeah.
It doesn't have to be built up in one singular instance. Like the suspicion can be built up over a week or a month.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be what I find on that particular minute, on that particular day.
And you're building up your officer training and experience.
Exactly.
You know he's been there. And all of that adds up, and boom, boom, right? And honestly, handoffs are so hard to build RS from. So instead, you wait for them to get in a car, run a trap. This is called pretextual stop. They're illegal in a lot of places, but not in San Andreas. You know someone's got some shit you want in the car. You let them run. You see them run the red light. Now you've stopped them. Now you start asking them questions. Now you tell them to step out of the vehicle. They think, what the fuck? All of a sudden they do some dumb shit. Next thing you know, they're in cuffs. Little do they know you had a bunch of other shit sitting in a fucking manila folder ready to slap on their ass.
Understood.
Yeah. Anyways,
I think the biggest thing for me in that situation where, you know, the suspicious ping is the good faith belief. Like when I go there, I look around and use my officer training and my good faith as an officer to see if there's anything out of the ordinary. And if not, if it's just the ping that's it, like they will.
Yep.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in the hypotheticals, but I think that's the takeaway for me. Like I'm using my training and my good faith to when it's blurry and it isn't clear if something has or will happen or is happening.
Yeah.
That's that. Nothing's happened.
Yeah. All right. Good shit. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will continue to grill you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Knight.
Yep. Anytime. All right.
Okay, Alan, do you have food?
Yes. Come here.
Do you know all your case laws?
Yes, contextually, but I can't give you the definitions of it.
Okay, here.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take this, copy this, okay? Copy this because I like you. What's your state ID?
12814.
Definitions. Case laws. Wait a second. Documents. Case law. Case law. What's your 12 what?
12814.
Okay, go look at your go look in your documents.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Brian Knight's gonna grill you.
I'm ready. I'll be ready next time. You jump in.
All right. Have you been?
Very good. Healing from that. You know, I haven't been in a shootout since Saturday, which is good.
Really? Brother, we were in a shootout the other day. I fucking sniped someone like 5 blocks away, right in the driver's dome. Last night.
Which gun were you using?
Yeah, I'm on radio. You say we should be on radio soon?
No, which gun were you using?
Heavy.
Apparently the DX-15 is fucking no longer